And now,
Laugh all you want. I'm the one who's gonna be on TV.
from TTR Studios,
I can't quite remember how that one goes. I gotta admit, I'm a little high.
No, Biggie, I'm cool.
it's Luch Dog in the morning.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is Skater D.
Hey, I'm John Charles Meyer, producer of Dave Made a Maze.
Hey, what's up? This is Scott Ladotti, author of Play the Devil, and you are listening to Luch Dog.
Luch Dog.
Luch Dog.
This is Andy fucking Cruz from SiriusXM 415, and you're listening to Luch Dog in the morning.
Number one podcast in the world. Yeah, boy.
Welcome back, folks. It is Luch Dog in the morning. It's the end of February. It's the end of the week. It's time to hit the weekend. Let's go! Welcome to the show, my wonderful friends. How are we feeling on a happy Friday? It's your boy Luch Dog. Belly is still in the Bahamas for one more day. And I am joined, of course, by my co-host and brother from another mother, Matty Potts. What's up, man?
Greetings and salutations.
Welcome to the show, my friend. It's early. It looks sunny out there. You guys okay? Are you back to warm weather?
No, it's colder now than it's ever been. It's horrible.
And he's in Santa Monica. Well, I guess Hollywood now.
Yeah, which should actually be warmer because it's always a little bit cooler by the ocean, but it is freezing.
We've got a ton to do today. We want to talk about roller hockey. I want to talk about some dating activities. Potts, did you ever play roller hockey as a kid?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay, great. So this is going to be awesome. But also, of course, we have to start with college basketball is finished as we know it. Now, did you hear any of this?
I have not. I swear I have not. I was literally just sitting on the toilet taking my morning dew, watching
morning.
ESPN on Snapchat as always. And I mean, there was nothing on it that I saw. Just, oh, sweet. Westbrook had a triple-double. Awesome. Great. No one cares.
And a buzzer beater, actually, which was kind of cool.
The second one of his entire career, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, that's the second one, I think, with a triple-double. Second buzzer beater with a triple-double.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think. I'm think on that one. I wasn't prepared to talk about that one, so that's fair. But I will tell you.
It's so weird, the random, tidbits that I actually absorb while I'm okay.
It's great.
Who would know that?
No,
okay.
you play the casual.
I don't even know the guy's first name.
You play the casual fan so well because I think there's a lot of people like you out there that just kind of listen with it in the background.
Totally.
And that's what ESPN is. Their power is that a lot of times you just know the faces of the personalities just because you see them in a bar on mute.
Right.
You'll see highly questionable on. You know Dan Le Batard's face, but if I say Dan Le Batard, you might not be able to tell me who that is.
Right. Well, I mean, the only reason I even know that name is because of you. So,
I am a massive fan. They are awesome. I am a huge part of the Stugatz Army. I'm a huge fan of the show. If you like them at all, if you like funny radio, if you like us, you'll definitely like them. Anyway, so coming straight from Yahoo Sports, I'm reading this from newsobserver.com, but Duke, UNC, NC State players mentioned in federal basketball investigation documents, report says. And I'm just going to read to you the first couple paragraphs. I mean, it's about 30 seconds here. Former and current Duke, North Carolina, and NC State players are among those named in discovery documents in the federal investigation into college basketball, according to Yahoo Sports. The report on Friday says hundreds of pages of documents provide a clear-eyed view into the pervasive nature of the game's underground economy. So basically, the documents tie some of the biggest names and programs in the sport to activity that appears to violate the NCAA's amateurism rules, the report said. This could end up casting a pall over the NCAA tournament because of eligibility issues. Dude, every single big team is going to have at least somebody suspended.
Right. Why is this happening now? Why is this?
What's going on is that
happening?
there's an FBI investigation going into college basketball. They did a raid on the NCAA offices and found all these documents. Yeah. Like a drug raid, dude.
It's like Wolf of Wall Street
stuff.
Yeah.
No, they did. That's what happened. And so they went in and they found all these reports that are now naming, I didn't read this. I heard this on TV, so I'm not reporting this. But I heard even Markelle Fultz's name. Now this is he's the number one pick in the draft of the NBA draft from this season. All these players are basically getting paid. They're on this named document where they're named as clients that got paid by an agency before they were even in the NBA while they were in college. So it's like, that's as wrong gets.
Yeah, I mean that's like instant banned or whatever, right? Like you can't...
yeah, that's the end of the sport. That's the end. If you're gonna, dude, we're talking about Kansas, we're talking about we're talking about Duke, we're talking about UNC. These schools are named.
So, wow.
How are you?
So what?
Now,
like Nike paying?
Well, it's not Nike. It's like an agency office, like like sports agency.
So they're saying basically like certain agents and stuff were trying to court players while they were still in high school, which is obviously, a lot
of the thought process is it really comes down to the one and done rule, because if you know that a kid's really only going to play for a year, why not make that investment behind the scenes on him, knowing that you're going to get your investment back in 12 months? Right. And so these agencies will throw some cash or cars or whatever at them. And now and then the FBI all of a sudden, he's like, time out.
But what sparked this raid?
I don't know.
Obviously, let's be honest, this has been going on since the start of the sport, I'm sure. So
maybe you could say with some of the things like Patino from Louisville, like with with him, God, he got, you had the prostitutes in the dorms, so I don't know if that was like something that kind of, I honestly don't know the answer. That's a very good question. That's something I wish Belly was here for. That's what we kind of lean on him for. But man, dude, like, how do you run a tournament now with all of this lying over its head?
It's crazy.
March is right around the corner. Potts, what are they going to do? Nobody's going to be allowed to play.
I can't wait to see the aftermath. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. But to be honest, it's kind of sad because the only people losing are these kids that were using basketball to get an education and to have a better life. And yeah, like you said, you've got some schmuck that throws them a few bucks. They don't really care about their career. They want them to get drafted. They want to get paid and whatevs. But like, these kids' lives are now over.
Okay, but what about the person that says, all right, well, then they shouldn't have taken the money?
I'd say try being broke and have someone hand you money and don't take it. Try, some of these kids have children like that they can't afford. And some of these kids are going to, top-notch schools that most people can't afford.
That's true.
Or,
now they get to do it for free.
I've seen a documentary on this. Like, a lot of these people they get full scholarships and then have no money for food and have no money for anything. So, like, it's like when you give someone a free car, they still have to pay the taxes on the friggin' car. It's still going to cost them thousands of dollars. And it's, no, honestly, now I'm kind of, like, really upset because, like, that's really, really wrong. That these kids now have so let's say you go to college and you're playing ball. Everyone says have a backup plan. All right, so this kid's a business major. That's his backup plan. Well, if he gets kicked off the team, then he gets kicked off his scholarship. He's kicked off the school. Now he has no backup plan either. The kid's now got a kid, the kid's got a kid and he's working at 7-Eleven. Like, is that really what we want? And now we've got another person that's going to be on welfare. That's a great plan, NCAA. Good job. That's retarded. They should find the people that were giving the money, not the people that took the money.
I love it. I thought the fail buzzer was coming there. That felt like a fail buzzer.
I was too pissed off to even push the damn button.
No, that's good. There you go. I love it when you get on a rant like that, because now here's an interesting question for you. You want to fix that? Good. Here comes the FBI with their capes on their backs like Superman, and they come raiding into the offices to find documents, and they blast all this out to the people. And now what's probably going to happen is I can't see the NCAA continuing on and just cleaning this up. I really, like, what if this just now crumbles the whole thing and now the players don't even have a place to play? You went to fix it and now you ruined the system.
There's too much money involved. It's like it's too big. It's the same as the banks. The system's too big to fail. It can't fail.
Is it?
See, it has to be. It brings too much money to the schools. If NCAA fails, a lot of schools fail. Period. Basketball and football bring the most money of any sport to every school.
That's
and if you're telling me a Division I school or whatever, any school, a lot of the schools don't have football teams but have basketball teams. So that's the main breadwinner, the only one. It cannot fail. It can't.
So what do you do? God, I wish you could get to the point where they pay the players. But I don't know how you fix that one. But well, go ahead if you got something.
I think you just said it, and I wasn't even thinking of it. How do you get rid of the problem? It's like weed being legal.
Right.
rid of the problem. You make it legal and you friggin' tax it because people are going to do it anyway. So make money off it. That's exactly what you do. You pay them. So then if they take money, you're like, dude, what are you doing? Like we've already, then you don't have to feel guilty about it. Right. Basically, then you don't have to feel guilty when you kick them off the team. Not that any of these assholes feel guilty, but no, what you do is you say we want you and we're going to invest in you and make sure that you don't have to lie, cheat, steal, or borrow money. And put yourself in this situation. We're going to give you a full scholarship.
So wait a minute, because you might be right. Because my whole problem with paying the players, which is not, I don't have a problem with it, but the problem that I think you'd run into is how do you decide how to pay the star player versus like the last guy on the team, the bench player? How do you figure that out? I think you just hit it on the nail. Are you talking about signing kids to like financial contracts, almost like the pros, to come to the school and play?
Yeah, well, to a compensation package.
Would that be like competitive? Like if you're LSU and I'm Alabama, can I put in more dollars in front of your face and say we'll pay you this much to come?
And I mean that's where it starts to get haywire. No, I think you basically have to have almost like a union to where the college players get a minimum. Like you have if this is a starter, this is the top that you can get. If you're a bench warmer, so you have two different levels, and that's that's how you court someone. Be like, hey man, like we're gonna give you, you're gonna be a starter. We're gonna give you the starter salary. Or if it's just a kid that's like, hell, I just want to get on the team and get a free scholarship. We're gonna give you the bench warmer.
But at least you'll have money
for starter. Then your next school year, you can maybe get bumped up. So that's an incentive for players to play good.
And at least you'll have money for food this season.
Right. Well, and then there's and then that's where it can get, you could get a compensation package. Like we're going to buy you, we're going to fill up your lunch card at the cafeteria.
Yeah,
we're going to give you whatever, I don't know, friggin' health insurance. We're going to give you, make sure you don't have a car. We're going to drive you to and from practice. I mean, I don't know, but there can be a overall package, but then it prevents people from having to go try to pick pockets.
All right, but now because I'm just pulling at this thread. I only wanted to talk about it for about 5 minutes, but now I'm pulling at the thread because I think we're fixing college basketball right on the air right now, right? So what do you do if you can't make it competitive? If you're LSU and I'm Alabama, what you do is you have the NCAA comes out with, this is the payment plan no matter what school you are in Division I sports for starters, for backup players, right? So if that's the case, LSU can't be like, we'll give you more than Alabama will. They just we're going to play you. You're going to be a starter. You're going to make starter money.
You're going to get the full food package.
School.
You're going to get the full transportation package. You're going to get allowance for friggin' clothes, or But even then, like they can't just give them money. Like you'll get a gift card to where like H&M. Like everything will be regulated to where it's monitored. It's not just handing someone.
Dude, they're
cash.
18. They're allowed to get into the military. If they're allowed to die for the country, pay them a paycheck. I'm all for it.
And here's the problem, and it's such bullshit. It's they basically, I saw a whole documentary on it. They basically invented the term student athlete to avoid all of this because and all they say is, well, they're amateur. The definition of an amateur is you don't get paid, blah blah blah, and that's bullshit. I say then stop calling them amateurs. Call them student athletes. I mean, that's what's so messed up. Instead of calling them amateurs, which is what they should continue to call them, they call them student athletes, which in my opinion is even more prestigious of a title. It's like, okay, so now you're calling them a student athlete. They should be paid as an athlete.
Right.
If you want them to be an amateur, then call them freaking amateurs. But they invented the term student athlete to kind of try to avoid this entire situation.
When you say they invented the term, I'm curious. Like, who is they? Who invented that? Who came up with that?
It's I was watching. It's a documentary on Netflix. I'm trying to remember the name. It's actually about college football, and it's literally it's so good because it tells you stories about how people get screwed out of their scholarships or unfairly kicked off the team, immediately dropped from their scholarship, and these people literally have no fallback plan, no plan B.
It's crazy.
And it's a monopoly, and the way that they're basically, especially with basketball, forcing kids to go into college if they even want to be drafted by the NBA. It's like they're creating this factory, like athlete factory, where you have to go through and you have to make money for at each level before you could advance to the next level. And that's what the NCAA is. It's just the level before the big leagues.
Again, from newsobserver.com, Duke and North Carolina and NC State are named along with Alabama, Kentucky, Michigan State, USC, and other schools as having players who are alleged to have received impermissible benefits and preferential treatment for players and families of the players. I mean, this is going to be, it's from ASM Sports Agency, is the agency God, listen to this. Former NC State player Dennis Smith Jr. was listed on an ASM Sports Agency balance sheet under the subheading Loan to Players. Players on the list were high school or college players receiving 4-figure and 5-figure payments from ASM Sports, the report said. How about that? How about that?
And again, you've got agencies willing to pay these high school kids that money. Don't you think the kids deserve it?
If they're not going to get paid by the schools, if they're not going to get paid by the schools, they absolutely deserve to get paid by the jersey sales and the agencies they want to throw, just hopefully throw a dart at the wall and hit on them.
There's people that have played NCAA basketball that are now used car salesmen that have their likeness on a video game and they're making $0.
Do you know that's why they don't have NCAA college football video game anymore? Because they ruled that was, even though that they would have as the name on top of the player. I don't know if you guys remember this game, but back in the day they had this college football game, NCAA college football. It was awesome, but they couldn't put the name of the players on top of the players while you played. It was just like number 32. It would say number 34. But it would have all the same like stats and, like skin color and height and weight and all of that. And people would even go through the game and change every single player make it their last name and stuff, so it would show it. But they ruled that was, even though that was not necessarily their name, that's too much their likeness. And you can't do that and not pay these people. So I just think that this whole thing is blowing up. Did you see what happened to Cuban? I mean, I feel like this kind of is going with the women calling out men in power. It's also the FBI calling out the NCAA for doing things the wrong way. Did you see what happened to Mark Cuban?
No.
Oh, boy. Well, I can't do this in 3 minutes. Can we just take a deep breath? Everybody just breathe together. Just woosah, because today is off to a fantastic start. And I think...
Yeah, FBI and court and people that are going to lose their lives.
Investigative journalism. I love that. I want to... maybe we just have like a sounder. Oh, no.
It's not on ESPN. I'm just wondering why I was watching NBA reruns on ESPN when all this is going on.
It just broke. Yeah, that just broke. So, anyway, hopefully you heard it on our show. But Mark Cuban got, first of all, there's so many places to take this. Do you want to know why he got fined $600,000 by the commissioner, or would you like to know why he might lose his team, the Dallas Mavericks?
The first and the second.
The first and the second? All right, I can probably do that. You're going to have to wait until we get back. You know I'm going to have to do that. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we will talk a little bit about Mark Cuban and this fascinating story about how the NBA is handling its coaches and its owners and how the MLB is treating its coaches and its owners. We'll do that next. It's Luch Dog in the morning.
This girl just met a guy.
LITMradio.com. Nice spots. Welcome back, folks. It is Luch Dog in the morning, hanging out with you on another Friday morning. Thank you guys for being here with us on channel TTR Studios right here on YouTube for the live stream. Thank you to everybody who's listening. We appreciate it. You can always hit us up on the caller line. You can text us. You can call. It's 571-354-7338 if you would like to interact with the show. Again, 571-354-7338. Belly is in the Bahamas. We miss him, of course. Belly, hope you're having a wonderful time. He comes back today, Potts.
Yeah, I saw he posted on that he was leaving.
I miss him. I need him in here.
Chat. It looks like he had a blast. Honestly, I'm surprised he's coming home.
How do you not at the Bahamas? So that's cool. But yeah, we wanted to, of course, thank all of the podcast listeners too, because I know we give the YouTubers a lot of love, but we're always radio guys at heart. So all of you podcasters out there listening inside of your ears and letting us into your brain, we really appreciate that. So Mark Cuban got fined $600,000 by the commissioner, Adam Silver, for the NBA. And we're not just a sports show, but this is fascinating because he said that his team should tank this year. He's the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. And he said his team tanked last year and they should tank this year. And if you don't know what tanking means, what are you doing? But well, let me just tell you, it just obviously means you're trying to lose so you get a better pick in the draft next year. Right? So is that a problem for you if a team tanks knowingly? Like it's obvious that the team tanks? Do you care as a fan?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of like irresponsible, like not, to your fans. But I think if it's a strategy and I mean, that's kind of the way the system's set up. So, I mean, it's a strategy.
Well, the system, Adam Silver, the commissioner, will tell you, no, it's not. And you will pay me $600,000 of your money because I'm not having teams say out loud, we are going to tank. You can't have it.
I'm all for that as well. Because like I said, it's a disservice to the fans. So, no, I mean, I think if you're dumb enough, you want to run your mouth like Cuban likes to do, that's cool. Pay it. But the problem is that $600K is a drop in the bucket to Cuban. I bet he's the kind of guy that would turn around and say it again and pay the fine again just as a GFY.
Maybe. But how about the fact that if you now look at Major League Baseball, you got the commissioner. You guys know I'm a huge fan of the Dan Le Batard show. The commissioner went on the Le Batard show on an interview because they're furious at the commissioner right now about what's happening in South Florida with Miami Marlins.
Right, we had talked about this.
We've discussed this before. I won't do the whole backstory, but basically they sold their entire outfield. Jeter comes in and just literally cleans out everybody and is just clearing payroll and just going to start from scratch. We're just going to tank it. It's going to be a team of basically nobodies for a year or two, and we're going to see what we can do and try to build our farm system up and do it again.
Right.
And the city of Miami is furious because they were promised it wasn't going to happen. They just built them a stadium off the taxpayers' money. Anyway, the commissioner goes on to the show, and they're saying, how are you going to let this happen? You knew. We have documents showing that Jeter was going to slash payroll and purposely tank and cut this all out. And the commissioner said this is a proven form of success. Some teams have done this. The Astros have done this. Like they did that and it worked. The Cubs did that and it worked. It's just, baseball is cyclical. And I'm paraphrasing, but this is what he said. Baseball is cyclical. And so, sometimes it's all about timing. Teams are always trying to win, but maybe just not this year. And you got the commissioner and NBA saying, you go shove. I want $600,000 of you even talking about tanking. How different is that?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's important to maintain the integrity of the brand to enforce stuff like that and to make rules like that. I respect it. I mean, and it's cool because Cuban tries to be a show off, a bit of a showman, and like it's entertaining. So I actually, like I said, I don't think this will be the last we hear of Cuban. I think he'll retaliate again just because he likes to be kind of like a renegade. No.
Not,
you're shaking your head now. You don't agree?
Not right now because of what I'm about to tell you. That was the less interesting story that came out about Mark Cuban.
All right.
You didn't hear any of this. So they called out his CEO documents. Who did the Sports Illustrated came out with an article highlighting the absolutely terrible workplace for women that the Dallas Mavericks organization had become, and how many women had left not only the Mavericks but the entire sports arena in general. Like, I'm out. Forget this. The locker room was the safest place, apparently, according to this article. According to the women, the locker room was the safest place, the only place where they were treated like professionals and like actual people.
Oh.
You've got the CEO of the entire Dallas Mavericks on record saying to a girl who was fairly new there, eating her lunch, she sits down, the CEO comes up to her and says, "May I sit down with you?" And she is a little bit nervous and says, because she knows, and she's the one giving this, she says, because she knows his history of a sexual predator. She knows his reputation. And this dude, she's like, all right, but he's the CEO. He's like, she's in like the marketing department, you know? And so he says, "Can I sit down with you?" And she says, okay. This dude is like, "So, you know, what are you up to this weekend?" She says, "I don't know, probably hanging out, doing this, doing that." And he proceeds to say to her, "No, you're not. You're going to get gangbanged this weekend."
Wow.
And she says,
I mean,
no,
I think that's
no.
inappropriate to say no matter how long they've worked there.
She says, "No, I'm not. Thanks for saying that." And he says, No, I'm pretty sure you're getting gangbanged this weekend. That's on record. Oh, boy. Right? I mean, I don't mean to laugh at this. That is absurd to me that could happen.
Yeah. Well, again, if it's that blatant, you deserve everything,
Oh, my goodness. And so now you've got a whole bunch of other people saying things like that as well. Women in the organization that have come out and have really just spoken out about it. And, oh, boy, because, I mean, how now do you handle this if you're somebody who believes what Mark Cuban is saying and what he is saying is, "Oh, guys, this is horrifying to me. I knew nothing about this."
That's what he's saying?
Yeah, I knew. Clearly, I just was handling the basketball side of things. He was handling the business side of things.
Right.
Oh, my God, this is terrible.
Sure. Good. All right.
Should he still then get treated like a Donald Sterling almost? Because
Oh, no, he shouldn't. The CEO should be fired. But
what about the whole?
So you can delegate. You can't, be looking over everyone's shoulder over the company that big.
So you don't feel like you're not in that, and I think there's a lot of people who would agree with you, but you're not in the mindset of, well, the buck stops at the top. I mean, he hired this guy. He knows. He has to have known.
No, that's bullshit. Unless there's another story. Based on what you just said, how the hell would he know a conversation?
There's a lot. No, there's a lot of them. Cafeteria. No, there's a lot of them. This is commonplace in that workspace, is what these women are saying. That's just one of the stories.
I mean, how often do you think Mark Cuban is eating lunch with friggin' assistants? I mean, the guy's probably barely even in that area that much. The guy has a million companies.
Complaints came through to HR. Complaints.
Robert Kraft, I think, and you might have told me this. Someone told me Robert Kraft said he spends about 20% of his time on the Patriots. He has a team of people that deal with everything else. The guy's a businessman. He's not sitting up in the stadium all day.
Okay,
and Mark Cuban is even more. He's on Shark Tank. He's got 100 businesses.
Right.
Like, the guy isn't sitting at the Mavericks stadium all day hitting on assistants.
But you said they delegate. So couldn't he at least have somebody? They're worth billions of dollars. Couldn't they just have somebody to know everything? Just say, "Hey, listen, I need you to be in the day to day, and make sure you tell me if some shit is going down like that."
Maybe, yeah, sure. I mean,
but maybe.
I guess. But again, you're talking about a one-on-one conversation. Like, I don't know, man. Like,
well, here's the other one. There's a guy that he's got a beat reporter that's on payroll that has got multiple accounts of domestic abuse. Excuse me. And one of the reports is against somebody that's actually a coworker with them there at the organization.
That's a big miss.
Not only is he still employed until yesterday, but he had a clause in his contract that he was not allowed to be alone with any of the women in the place.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't know. That's pretty crazy.
That's rough, man. Come on. How do you keep that guy employed?
You don't.
You're forcing him to work in the same organization as the woman that he abused knowingly?
It's pretty crazy.
A whole gender isn't allowed to be around him.
What you told me. Now, that story's crazy. I mean, that's...
Well, I kind of just wanted to feed you I was letting you organically get there, because I love how you just kind of like, you're forming your opinions as you hear about it like the listeners, and it's perfect because there's a lot more to this story that goes down, and a lot of people are saying, how can Cuban not know about some of these things? Now, the one about the CEO, fine. Maybe people are too intimidated to tell him because they figure if the CEO is doing it, they must be in cahoots. Who knows? I'm not going to go to one and get fired. I don't know. I mean,
it's possible that the CEO.
I can't see it happening with the beat reporter and he knew he had to know about that one.
No, well, let me say. I mean, I can't look. He doesn't hire the people. Human resources and hires people. The CEO hires people. Like I don't know what position this guy held, but if he was a mid-level position, he wouldn't have even been interviewed by the CEO. So the CEO is someone that could have put that clause into his employment agreement. Again, that doesn't necessarily mean Mark Cuban does that, because if you delegate to people, to your human resources department, and say, okay, hire people, and they hire someone and they put that in the stipulation, is how would he know? I mean, it's certainly possible that he gave authority to somebody that did that and he had no idea.
I
mean,
think
it's very possible.
I think I fall on your side of this. It's tough, because it's like, I don't know. You want to say, that's terrible. Hold everybody accountable. But man, you got to know these people are huge businessmen. They, like you said, Kraft spends 20% of his time on the entire team of the Patriots. He's got other stuff going on. Like, these guys, I could understand. I worry when we just take out everybody in a college. You fire the AD. You fire the president of the school. It's like that. I understand if that's what we're doing. Then I mean, I get the argument that atrocious things happened and you just want to clean house. But I just wonder how much of it really falls at the top. And right now, Mark Cuban is like begging people, like, whoa, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Because you're right. He's somebody that if you find him, he's got total fuck you money. Like, dude, here you go. I'm going to do it again. I don't care. It's a slap on the wrist. But here, he's like, no, this is my fault. I'm really sorry. And I'm curious to see what happens going forward, because do you remember when Donald Sterling was in the middle of losing the Clippers over those racial comments? Heard?
So bad.
Do you remember Cuban's response? Cuban was the only one who actually stood up and said, hey, wait a minute on this whole taking his team thing. That might be a little extreme. This might be setting a precedent here. Like, he was the one saying, like, yo, chill out. Like, I'm in a position where, like, you never know what's happening.
Well, it's... I mean, I hate to well, I don't know. I almost want to like relate it to like guns and the situation now with guns, even though I hesitate to do it. But it's like, it's very scary waters, because you try to resolve an issue, like you said, you clear house. Same thing with kind of like what we're doing with people want to do with guns, but you don't think, can this come back to bite me in the ass down the line? And that's kind of what Mark Cuban was saying. If you let this guy lose his team, we set a precedent. We're now basically a free target to potentially lose our team. And I mean, that's just what scares me about guns. It's like, guys, this is our right, and I'm certainly not trying to get in a gun conversation, but what's happening scares me, because when people get scared, they're very quick to clear house, like clean house, like you're saying,
rip it out.
And give up rights that people have fought for and died for, and our entire country was founded on. And again, I know there's two sides to every argument. I'm sure there's people freaking out, but let's just,
well, you have to be able to have a conversation about it.
Let's just not be so quick to give up our rights. Right. Is what I'm saying. Like, it's a real,
and I think
there's a lot of assholes. There's a lot of crazy fucks, and I want to make sure that I can protect myself against them, because it is a crazy world. Anyway, sorry, I totally went off the rails there, but I mean, that just really did kind of make me think of what's going on.
No, Felicity's loving you. No, that's good. That's okay. That's all right. So,
a gun too. I don't even own a gun, so I'm not like I'm someone that doesn't own a gun that's saying maybe we should chill, because it's like pretty crazy.
Well, this stuff can fire you up, and I think that's what Cuban was basically saying about the whole thing. Is like, let's just not completely rip everything away just because something bad happened. But I will tell you, what happened in his organization is horrifying. So you want to go ahead and look into that. Go ahead. I didn't catch that. Go ahead.
No, I mean, bad things happen. Again, it's like, let's just take a breather and figure out how to fix it. Let's not just it's all about instant gratification. People are so worried about losing sponsors and losing this and that. They just do something like that where everyone's fired. And it's like, all right, well, then what?
Did we fix the problem?
Our attention span is so short, we don't really do a follow-up. So it's like, oh, the guy was fired. Okay, great. Well, was any system or policy implemented from an HR standpoint so we don't do this? Was any training given to our executives so they don't continually sexually harass people, not even realizing it? Like, what was taken? Nothing. They just fire people.
Well, you're right, because we're so knee-jerk and we want things to happen right now.
Right now, instant gratification.
But then we have no attention span, so that tomorrow when we wanted it to be done with, we're already over it, and we don't care that it didn't happen yet.
Don't even care.
That's crazy to me. Like that, we gotta watch that. And you know what is actually training us to get even worse is movies and TV series. Let me ask you a question. Does a movie feel long to you now?
Yeah, a lot of them do.
Right?
Yeah, they
Am
do.
I wrong?
Say that.
Movies feel so long to me now because I'm so used to like a 45-minute like series show or a 30-minute series show or just watching a few of them at a time but having a little bit of a break in between to go do something. Now a movie sitting me down on the couch for an hour and 55 minutes feels long.
I mean, assuming I can even stay awake that long, but yeah.
And I'm noticing my attention span for these things. It's like, oh my God, movies, we better be careful because movies are going to start going down to like an hour and a half.
I mean, if a movie is 2 hours, a lot of times I won't go to a movie because I don't think, like, I'm like, I don't know, it's going to end way too late. Then you've got a half hour of trailers, and then I'm like, nah, no.
So are you okay with them bringing down? Because right now I think it's safe to say that a movie standard is 2 hours. That's the average.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
If it's over that, it's a long movie. If it's under that, it's a short movie, right?
Yeah, I mean, I like an hour and a half movie, honestly. An hour and
You're
going to
screw it for everybody, but you're going to love what happens. I think maybe a lot of people are probably with you. That would you rather an hour and a half be the standard, or would you like to keep it at 2 hours for a movie? Text me right now.
If it's a movie like Titanic, like some huge epic movie, then 2 hours. But usually like a comedy, an hour and a half. You know, like
I feel like you're not going to give the opportunity for the drama and the huge Titanic to take place anymore because we're going to start seeing a movie as 2 hours and we're not even going to watch it.
Yeah,
that's what I worry for. The artists are now going to have to package. It's like, put it this way: you did music. You were like my producer back in the day, right? You even told me about some of the songs when we were in the studio. Too long, man. How long do you need to have a song?
Yeah, it was like 2.5, 3 minutes tops.
And my songs were like 4.5 minute, like, pieces of art, man. And you're like, dude, you need to shave like 40% of this song off. And I'm like, fuck you. But because you're right. It
forces you to take the best bits and really like kind of compact it into a tighter package. But that's why I like posting videos on Instagram, because you have a minute, and it's so funny how it forces me to edit videos, and it does come out tighter because it's just faster and quicker, and
Well, you just told us about you. I mean, you texted me, and I feel horrible. I have to apologize on air to you because you texted me in the middle of a conversation, just randomly snuck in one line of, "I just posted my funniest video yet," and but then it went back to like, "We should do this for the show," and blah blah blah. I totally forgot to watch it. So do you want to play it for us? Is it worthy?
I'm trying to no, because it's real visual. I think. Oh, I was talking about. Oh, I can play it. All right, hold on. Wait, did I?
What is it about?
It's
because he does it. Well, here, you look for it. I'll tell people what it's about.
No, I got it. I got it right here.
Okay.
I forgot. Yeah, it's online dating. The visual for this is really funny.
But tell people why you put these like about the minute videos that you make.
So I mean, I stopped doing the newsroom. Honestly, it took way too long to like put a suit on and to dress up, and I started doing more of like commentaries.
This just in from the Santa Monica newsroom. It's Matty Potts.
So tell us again why you stopped doing that.
So this is called online dating. The visual is really funny because I get dressed up like a chick. But here we go. Got me like, what? Precious, I love you. It's an English muffin. It's from England, stupid. It's 3 p.m. on a Tuesday. Who gives a fuck about a job? Let's go. Here's a picture of me wearing a bridesmaid's dress with 14 other bridesmaids. Guess which one I am? No, that's not my kid. It's my nephew. Must make me laugh. God first. Fuck yeah, God. If you don't speak 30 languages, swipe left, Matty. If you're shorter than 6'4", swipe left, Matty. If you have a dick, swipe left, Matty. I want you to die, so swipe left, Matty.
Oh, man.
The visual is fucking funny. It still makes me laugh. Dude, me and drag is a fucking hoot, let me tell you.
Yeah, you love doing it. He loves doing it. It is funny. to see you just get you tickle your creative side of your brain. You do a great job. Check those out at shut_up_Maddie on Instagram. And we will do a quick break for you guys. When we get back, I will discuss the kid from your childhood that we all know and we all hate, him or her. We'll talk about it next. It's Luch Dog in the Morning, LITMradio.com.
Restaurant puts a unique twist on fast casual dining by starting with only the freshest ingredients to slow cook delicious melodies of tastes and colors that are sure to delight your senses. Whether you're craving the Chipotle pulled pork sliders, honey basil chicken tacos, or the infamous kitchen sink wrap, Marinate has something for everybody with tons of vegetarian options too. It's the perfect choice of catering for your offices or events with fast and friendly service from a brand new store on Melrose and Western. Stop by today, or you can order online at marinateyourlife.com.
Yay for Taco Tuesday! Don't forget, buy one, get one free. All damn day!
Tacos, wraps, sliders, and sides. Slow cooked to perfection at Marinate Restaurant. marinateyourlife.com.
Learn how to defend yourself efficiently with your handgun? Or use pepper spray with the confidence of real-life training? How about develop an actionable home defense plan? Innovative Defensive Solutions offers realistic personal defense training both in Manassas and Doswell. IDS Training also travels nationwide to host range and classroom locations. Since 2003, IDS Training has been teaching people to improve their safety through contextually accurate and realistic personal defense training, including concealed carry permit courses, pepper spray courses, beginner firearm safety, and of course, defensive firearm training. So head over to innovativedefensivesolutions.com or call 571-535-4437 with promo code LUCH, that's LUC, and get 20% off their coursework. You can also find IDS on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter with the handle @IDS Training. Innovative Defensive Solutions, making you safer through realistic firearm training. Real training for real life. InnovativeDefensiveSolutions.com.
What's up, y'all? It's Maddie Mads here. This show is sponsored by TTR Studios. Whether it's weddings, parties, karaoke, audio, video production, and all your entertainment needs, call TTR Studios, LLC at 703-850-2223 or check them out at ttrevents.com. Start the show, Luch.
Welcome back, folks. It is Luch Dog in the Morning, and this is TTR Studios. It's how we roll, my friends, right here on YouTube with my brother from another mother, my cousin, my boy, Matty Potts. Holding it down, man.
Here I am.
Doing a great job. We miss Belly, of course. We're excited for him to get home today. He'll be back with us next week, and we'll be back to a little bit normal, but I will be from a different state. I will be in the mountains. I will be hosting from a remote location, so we're going to try something new because Belly and Potts did such an awesome job without me here last week. We're going to now try some new things here. I think we can now, that shows that we can maybe open up the show a little bit. I'm going to go on the road.
You're just going to go on vacation all the time.
It allows me to feel good enough to go on vacation. Put it that way. It's a huge compliment. You guys did a fucking awesome job. So I'm like, all right, you know what? You got this thing. I'm going to actually go and do, because a lot of times I won't do things like that because I worry. Like, I got to be at the show. I don't want to leave. Radio, like, is built in your brain. Like, you don't leave the audience. Like, they're expecting you. The moment you leave them, they're going to go find something else. So yep. I'm very, like, I love you guys, man. I respect the fact that you sit down for an hour a day or every other week. You know, whenever you listen, the fact that you devote an hour of your time to us is just so flattering to me. So really, thank you for everybody that listens. And we appreciate what you do. But I can't stand the kid who played roller hockey with his shoes on.
I mean, I started that
Was
like
it
that.
you?
I used to play street hockey on my.
Oh no! I knew you were gonna be that guy. Are you that guy growing up?
I moved up. No, I mean, I ended up playing roller hockey. Well, no, but like I had two different like groups of friends. Like in my street, we would play just on our shoes. But I mean, I think because a lot of these kids couldn't afford, rollerblades, I think. But then I had another group, and we would play like on the tennis courts, roller hockey, and it was
I'm
great.
talking about that kid in that group who was always that one kid that was good enough, but like didn't have skates for whatever reason, would always be like, I want to play. I'm like, God, dude. And he, like, the guy in our group would have the audacity to then brag about how great he was and how they won. It's like, go shove, guy. You don't even have wheels on your feet.
Well, you can't intermix them. You can't have.
That's what I'm saying. When you're playing a game of roller hockey, the guy who's that one kid who's always trying to play from his shoes. And Belly brought that up to me. And I said, that I bet people can relate to, because that is so true. I hated that kid. I hated that kid.
Were you just playing roller hockey or something?
No, we were watching the hockey on the Olympics, and we were just saying how I would love to get back into like playing. I mean, this whole one-wheeling and now the Rad Mini. Oh, dude, this bike is amazing.
It looks dope.
I need you to buy it so that I'm telling you right now, because of what you said on the show.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, I could use it. I mean, I could definitely.
You would love it.
I would use it to go back and forth from work.
You would love it, dude. You would love it. You would love it. You would love it. It's called the Rad Mini. Rad Power makes it. Check them out. Rad Mini is the name of the bike. It folds in half. It is dude, let me just tell you real quick. It's got 5 levels of pedal assist. Okay. Now, when you hear that, you're just like, all right, cool. It's kind of like, what does that mean? On one, it kind of helps you when you pedal, but the bike has fat tires, so almost like dirt bike tires. They're 4.5 inches thick, so you can totally go on the grass or wherever, sand, on the beach.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, I was just thinking that.
Yeah, the beach for you would be amazing. But it's also got a throttle on the grip, on the handlebar, right? So if you have it in pedal assist 5, which is basically it's basically engaging the motor as soon as you start pedaling.
Mm-hmm.
You get up to like 20 miles an hour in like 3 pedals, right? So you can pedal up a hill, like up a grass hill, get to the top, turn down it, and then stand up and just rip the throttle down the hill like a dirt bike.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God, dude. I am like giggling around on this thing. It is absolutely a blast. It's called a Rad Mini, and if you're just trying to find something like Potts, you live like, what, a couple miles from work? How great would this be?
Yeah, no, it's I mean, $1,500, but yeah,
it's $1,500. But I drove around for 20 miles and I only used 2 of the bars out of the 5 on the battery. I still have 3 bars after 20 miles.
Awesome.
That's crazy. I don't know how I got started on this, but now I'm totally into it. I'm gonna make a review for it, and I tried to do a review yesterday, and it sucked. It was so bad. So I have to redo it. So, have you gotten any dating stories for us at all these days?
I had a really, really weird situation just happen. So I mean, I deleted all the apps, blah blah. But every now and then, like, I'll just like download one just to see if I've got any matches. And I downloaded one, Hinge, and I had a match. So tell me. So it was a white girl, which is not my main thing, but she has these huge lips, like injected, obviously. And she had her name. And so I always go on Instagram and like stalk these people to see what the deal is. So this chick's 31. She was married to a famous music person.
Can we say it?
No, I can't say it. I'd have to look up his. I actually IMDb'd the guy, or Wikipedia'd the guy after. So it was, in my opinion, I mean, they just got married like 6 months ago. This chick's 31. This guy had to be in his 60s, 70s, maybe. He passed away from cancer. Yeah. He passed away from cancer on February 13th.
Oh, I'm not clapping because he's dead.
I matched with her on Hinge on February 20th.
Ah, 1 week later, not even.
Dude. And so, like, I mean, I've been slowly, like, texting. I mean, I'm not going to meet up with her. I mean, she's obviously a gold digger. She had zero interest in meeting this girl. But I just wanted to see if she would reply, and she definitely replied. And
what did she say?
It was small talk, just like, oh, hey, like, I always say,
but you were on golddigger.com or whatever that one was.
No, Hinge. Just Hinge.
No, I know, but in the past, weren't you on, like, sugardaddy.com or something like that?
I was on seekingarrangement.com as a sugar baby.
So here you go, man. I say you go for it just for the story.
No, but she's going to be looking for a guy with money.
Well, that's fine.
Well, actually, maybe she has money because the guy passed away. She might have just got maybe she's looking for a sugar baby, like just some.
No, I think she's been banging out a 60-year-old for the money for so long. She finally got over it and got off the leash. And 1 week later, she sees sexy Maddie with his emo swoop. And,
damn straight.
Here we go.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I already deleted the app again. I just
why do you keep doing this? Isn't this so much work for somebody to delete? Just like deactivate it so you can activate it again or something. Like I don't know why you could. You probably do this once a week.
Oh, I do it more than that. Like I don't know. I just if it's off my phone, then I won't check it as much. But every now and then I'm just like, yeah, whatever. But I'm actually supposed to meet with a girl on Sunday who's another white girl, but she's smoking. I'll send you a picture. She is smoking hot. And you'd love her too. Actually, I'll send you her Instagram because she's playing the ukulele and singing. She's like, oh yeah, you'd love her. She's super hot, really talented. Every day when she gets off work, she's posting videos of her in a bathrobe drinking beer. Like that's what she does. I don't know. She seems super rad. Anyway, even though she's white.
I'm down though. I think this is great.
This sounds great. Oh, I'm excited. I told you guys on Wednesday that I was on cloud nine because I had a little female friend here, and I wanted to play. I had it all queued up in my computer, so it went well. We went on first date, and it went really well. And she's also a radio, so she knows that I might every now and then bring her up on the air, and I've been given the okay. Did I lose you? You can't hear me. Okay, cool. All right. I'll come back. Give me a thumbs up when you can hear me. All right, so what I will tell everyone is I met this girl, and she is awesome, and I'm just seeing if Patty Potts can hear me. Can you hear me now? Am I back? What's going on with you? Maybe go to me real quick. If there's something here, I can't just really go to break real quick. What's talking? No good? Wow, how about now? This is terrible radio. Is that any better? No, okay. I might just have to. All right. Well, I'm going to tell this one again. We'll see if we can get Potts back.
He's going to go ahead and call us back here. See, what Potts doesn't realize, folks, is that Belly is not here. And so to do stuff like this is not easy, but God bless the kid because he knows how to fix stuff. Hello? Are you there?
Sorry, your voice was all crazy. It's good now, though.
Oh, that's so much better. Okay, cool. No, I was just saying how it's funny how you have no idea how hard it is to fix this stuff. Because you aren't in studio, so like you're like it's funny to Belly and I when you're like just go to break, and we're just like I kind of I'm not ready for that. I can't do that yet. But no, what I was gonna say is I met this girl. Sorry for that little filibustering. That was not good radio, and I apologize. But I do have something funny for you guys. I met this girl and she's great. Man, some of the things we went on the first date and we're gonna see each other again. We started talking about things that we wanted to do together. Like, you get into that conversation, you finally find somebody that you can date, and it's like, well, what could we do together? What's something that's like on your bucket list around here we could do? Can I just read you the list of things that she had been thinking about, things that would be fun to do together?
Please.
First one is the Artec House, which is like it's like a museum of like alternate universe rooms that are like half digital, like virtual reality stuff. And I'm like, yeah, down. Show at the Kennedy Center, concert at the 930 Club, hiking Mount Vernon, taking a graffiti class, maybe a glass blowing class, definitely board games, burlesque show in Baltimore, visiting a humane society to see dogs, picnic at the Lincoln Memorial. I'm down.
Oh my gosh.
I'm down.
It's pretty crazy.
Now, that to a lot of you might be like, wow, that's a lot. I love that.
Yo, I totally agree.
I
Because
love
you now
that.
don't have to think about what to do with her for the next 5 months.
Do you know how refreshing that is to not sit there and have to rack your brain trying to read her mind and know, like, even if she didn't tell me what like things she wanted to do, just being open to like being part of the conversation and not just expecting me to know what you want to do. So many girls are just like, you're the man. You should know what we should do.
Right.
But
no, it's fine. Just surprise me.
Right.
Like,
But
no.
okay, cool. And then you surprise them and they're like, oh, but like, I can't, I can't be around fish. And it's like, well, awesome. I'm glad I took you to Baltimore.
It's the M&M factory. Sweet. I'm allergic to chocolate.
Yeah,
oh,
awesome.
Cool.
But are you at least surprised?
Right. Surprise. You're going to die.
So I was very impressed with that. What's on your bucket list is what I wanted to ask you. Let's say you go out with this new girl and you hit it off and you realize you're clicking like like way deeper than usual. What are some things that you would like to do with somebody like that?
Well, I mean, I'm a pretty low maintenance guy, to be honest. I just, I'm down with a dive bar, a good meal. I'm definitely down to like go on hikes. I like doing outdoor stuff. I think doing something like a hike is good because you're out, it's beautiful, it gives you an opportunity to do one-on-one talking, but you're like moving, so you're not like just staring at each other at a restaurant.
You're
it's
exploring.
Not super awkward.
You're exploring together, so you're opening up that side of your mind that you're like kind of doing something new together. I think that's a really good bonding technique.
Right.
But is there something like outside the box? Like, do you see yourself ever like, just like, let's go to the airport and pick up the cheapest day flight?
So, I mean, I see a lot of people. That's funny. That's like on online dating. They're like, what's the craziest thing you've ever done? And like, that's the response is like, I decided to move to Japan and like whatever. I don't really have a schedule to where I can do that. But if I could, totally just like an overnight trip. Yeah, of course, stuff like that. And I mean, there's places around here where you can just kind of drive to. I mean, there's like Temecula wine country you can just drive to. There's either mountains or beaches. And so you can do stuff quick.
You could probably get to that bud and breakfast. And I think it's in I think it's in Colorado. Yeah, it's a bud and breakfast. It's a bed and breakfast dedicated to weed.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah,
I've not heard of this.
It's like this ranch, and like all the activities kind of revolve around, like pot circles and like different kind of strains and activities you can do, and it's all part of like your breakfast menu. Like it's like
I bet they have glass blowing. They probably have glass blowing for your girl. Then.
But how about that graffiti class? Like graffiti class would be awesome. I'm just so pumped. The fact that
that's actually something that I would like to do that.
That sounds fun, right?
Cool.
But I like somebody that like has ideas. If you're a woman who's listening, like that's really sexy to a guy, because a lot of us are so used to you guys wanting us to just come up with everything and make it so fun and magical every time. And so if you would just help us with some info on things that you would like to do too, not that I mean that would be it's just refreshing as all get out.
And honestly, that goes to, I always tell, it's funny you say it, because it goes to a lot of things. It goes to like job interviews. It goes to actors. When you're sitting in a meeting with an agent or a manager or in an interview, and they say, so like, what's your specialty? Like, as an actor, you don't say, oh, I do it all. You need to answer the question. Be like, I'm a sitcom best friend, comedic actor, like a Matt LeBlanc. Like the people that are like, oh, I could do drama. It's like, no, that's not the answer, dickhead. Like you have to be clear and concise. Same with an interview. You don't say, oh, I can do it. Be like, no, I mean, I was a director of operations at a nightclub for a decade. Like,
can you find that it's a little ironic that you're saying that on a show that says that we're a little bit of everything?
Everything.
I've had a blast with you guys today. Thank you so much for hanging out. Matty Potts, this was a good one, my friend, and we will get Belly back next week. But what do you have left for the people?
Schedule. Oh, nothing. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in, and you can kindly go fuck yourself.
There he goes. Matty Potts from the Santa Monica newsroom. Thank you.
Brother, you've done a wonderful job. As always, that's the whole week for us. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us on Channel TTR Studios, right there on YouTube. And of course, thank you for listening on the podcast, which you can find at litmradio.com. For everybody here at TTR Studios, ladies and gentlemen, this is Lush.